Good morning everyone! Welcome to our channel. This is Values Education Major, second year. Before that, don't forget to click like and share, and don't forget also to tap the notification bell so you'll get notified for the new videos uploaded on our YouTube channel, just like this one.
In general, a performance-based assessment measures the ability to apply the skills and knowledge learned from a unit or units of study. Typically, the task challenges students to use their higher order thinking skills to create a product or complete a process. The features of performance-based assessment are greater realism of the task, greater complexity of the task, greater time needed for assessment, and the greater use of judgment and scoring.
Good day everyone, I'm Leah Mae M, DIZON, and today I'm going to share with you my assigned topic, which is what is the difference between traditional assessment and performance-based assessment, and what are the domains of performance-based assessment. So there are many types of formal assessments used in educational settings. In this lesson, we will discuss the difference between traditional assessment and performance-based assessment. Additional types of formal assessments will be discussed in other lessons within this course. So what is the difference between traditional assessment and performance-based assessment? So in paper and pencil assessments, or traditional, students provide written responses to written items. You have probably taken numerous paper and pencil assessments in your educational careers. Assessments in which you fill out answers on the assessment form itself, or electronic forms like Scantrons, Models, and Google Forms and other inclined platform that it falls under this category. Typically, paper and pencil assessments include questions to answers, topics to address through paragraph responses, problems to solve, and etc. Traditional assessment are tests taken with paper and pencil that are usually true or false, matching type, or multiple choice. These assessments are easy to grade but only test isolated application, facts, or memorized data at lower level thinking skills. Traditional assessment provides little evidence of what a language learner can actually do with the language. Performance assessments, on the other hand, are assessments in which students demonstrate knowledge and skills in a non-written fashion. These assessments are focused on demonstration versus written responses. For example, giving oral presentations, completing physical assessments in physical education or PE classes, performing experiments in a lab, or dissecting activities in anatomy classes fall under this category. In order to evaluate what a language learner can do with a language, a student must be evaluated using various performance tasks and assessments. Performance assessments include authentic assessment, alternative assessments, and integrated performance assessments. Learners must use more complex, higher-order thinking skills. They must reason, problem solve, or collaborate with others to produce individual responses. Rubrics provided ahead of time so learners know their expectations are used to evaluate students on multiple competency levels. So what are the domains of performance-based assessment? Here are the domains: communication skills, psychomotor skills, athletic skills, concept acquisition, and affective skills.
So there are three types of performance-based assessment. So these are products, performances, and process-oriented assessment. So are you curious about what is the focus of performance-based assessment? The focus of performance-based assessment, according to Ronalyn, use the process when there is no product. The process is orderly and directly observable. Correct procedures, steps are crucial to later success. Analysis of procedural steps can help in improving the product. And learning is at the early stage. And use the product when different procedures result in an equally good product. Procedures are not available for observation. The procedures have been mastered already. And products have qualities that can be identified and judged.
Guys, this is Quincy A, CATUCOD, a BS Ed major of Values Education second year. And here are the 4 types of accomplishments of the learnings using the performance-based assessment. The first one is the products, the actual creation of the students that can be viewed and touched by the teachers. The example of these are poems, essays, charts, graphs, exhibits, drawings, maps, and etc. The second is the complex cognitive processes. It describes how students acquire knowledge, store it in a long-term memory, and retrieve it for later use. Some identified complex cognitive processes are concept learning, problem solving, metacognition, critical thinking, and transfer. The example of this are skills in acquiring, organizing, and using information. The third one is the observable performance or the behavior of the students. The example of these are physical movements such as dance, gymnastics, typing, oral presentation, focusing in laboratory class, following cooking procedures. Lastly, the habits of the mind and social skills. It allows learners to gain something positive from their experiences, even when making guesses or mistakes. Through understanding to this, we realize that when a mind is reaching for information and making critical connections to arrive at conclusions. The example of this are mental and behavior habits, such as persistence and cooperations during group work, recognition skills. So let's proceed now to the advantages and limitations of performance-based assessment. The advantages of performance-based assessment are it assesses complex learning outcomes, it assesses the product as well as the process. It communicates instructional goals related to the real-world context, assesses progress as well as the performance. It involves the students in the assessment process. It recognizes that students can express specific, direct, and understandable information are available to the parents of the students. It evaluates the whole students. It enhances the professional skills of the teachers. It can establish a framework for observing the students. And lastly, can contribute to a meaningful curriculum planning and design of educational inventions. The limitations of performance-based assessment are constructing, which is time-consuming. The second is the scoring that can be questionable. And the third one is the measurements, which has a limited scope.
Hello everyone, I'm Arabelle A, DADIA, and I'm here to discuss about the steps in developing performance-based assessment. So number 1 is we need to determine the purpose. We need to determine the skills, learning outcomes, and taxonomy level. We need to decide which learning outcome will be a performance-based or a traditional based. So performance-based assessment only assesses the higher order thinking skills or complex cognitive outcome, just like receiving, responding, and valuing for effective outcomes and psychomotor skills. We should also create a list of skills appropriate in the performance-based assessment. Design and develop performance tasks. Create an activity or task that will allow the student to demonstrate knowledge, skills, and attitudes that they have learned. Now, what are the things that needs to be considered? Number 1 is the time allotted, the availability of classroom resources, the data needed to judge the quality of the student's performance. The activity should in line with the issues, concept, problems that are important for the development of subject matter. What is performance task? So it is an activity or assessment that measures the student's learning and assesses the student's mastery of knowledge. They will not just answer questions or essay writing. They will present their work or create something. Examples are drawing the map of the Philippines, solving math problems, writing a sports story, or translating English paragraph to a Filipino.
Hello, I am Reinafer HERRAS, and I will discuss about suggestions for constructing performance tasks. So first, focus on learning outcomes that require complex cognitive skills and student performances. Tasks need to be developed or selected in light of important learning outcomes. Second, select or develop tasks that represent both the content and the skills are central to important learning outcomes. It is important to specify the range of content and resources students can use in performing tasks. Third, minimize the difference of task performance on skill that are irrelevant to the intended purpose of the assessment task. Here is the focus on the attention of the assessment. Fourth, provide the necessary scaffolding for a student to be able to understand the task and what is expected. Challenging tasks often involve ambiguities and require students to experiment, gather information, formulate hypotheses, and evaluate their own progress in solving a problem. Fifth, construct task directions so that a student task is clearly indicated. Vague directions can lead to such a diverse array of performances that it becomes impossible to rate them in a fair or reliable fashion. Sixth, clearly communicate performance expectations in terms of the criteria by which the performances will be judged. Specifying the criteria to be used in rating performance helps clarify expectations for students.
Hi everyone, my name is Ronalyn B, SUWAISO, a BSL Values Education second year. So my topic is all about guidelines of performance tasks. First, direction should be included. Congruent to purpose of assessment, elicits behaviors at the level stated in LE, authentic, should give enough information, has important outcomes that are assessed, reflects intended learning outcomes.
Hi, this is Mary Jean GLODO, and here are the guidelines for good judging criteria, which what I'm going to tackle about. So this can be implemented or adapted in actual judging of the student's performance. Okay. First, communicate essential achievement standard of the assessed outcome. Second, operationalize the outcome they intend to reflect. Third, apply across context that calls for similar behavior. Fourth, focus on current instruction, not prior learning. Fifth, observable. Sixth, essential for judging performance of the task adequately. Seventh, communicate to others what constitutes excellence. And the last one is the appropriate for the students.
So for today, I will be going to discuss to you the 5 types of performance criteria. First is the impact of the performance. Second, work quality and craftsmanship. Third is the adequacy of method and behavior. Fourth is the validity of content. And last, the number 5 is sophistication of knowledge employed.
Good day, students. So today, I'm going to discuss to you what is performance-based assessments and its importance. So performance-based assessments have recently experienced a emergence in education, literature, and curricula. In the 1990s, performance-based assessments became a valid alternative to traditional or multiple-choice tests. In the years that followed, legislative requirements shifted the emphasis to standardized testing, which caused a decline in non-traditional testing methods, according to Darling Hammond and Adamson 2013. Currently, more school districts and universities are seeking authentic measures of student learning, and performance-based assessments have become increasingly relevant. It It provides a natural, direct, and complete evaluation of some types of skills. It is also meaningful to learning or performance makes the students more motivated. It encourages the application of learning to real-life situations. Performance-based assessment is conducted by listening to, observing, and talking with students as they complete this task. It is an ongoing process that helps teachers and covers a student's ability to think and reason. Teachers are able to adapt their own practice according to the student performance. Students learn from the assessment process and develop skills of self-evaluation. Performance-based learning and assessments promotes a process of continuous learning and improvement.